Now, a lot of women do experience mood swings and irritability during pregnancy. Thank God I did not have that. I actually believe I had none of that. I don't know. My husband will be the one to tell you for sure if I had those or not, but I think we've been okay. I haven't been short with him or anyone else, or just feeling teary. I mean, I've cried a few times just with the difficulty of the pregnancy when I'm vomiting for the 6th time and the vomit's coming through my nose and stuff. I'll just break down, which I think is normal. But I didn't get like up and down moods or mood swings or anything like that. So I'm thankful for that one. Hi guys, it's Koile Darius back with another video. In this video, I'm just gonna talk about my experience dealing with a few pregnancy symptoms, and particularly Hyperemesis Gravidarum. If you haven't heard of it before, it's pretty much an excessive amount of vomiting that could see you hospitalized, dehydrated, or even dying. It's actually serious, and it's much more intense than morning sickness. I have not got an official diagnosis because, I mean, I'm a nurse. I've diagnosed myself and I know what sort of things I can do to try and manage it from home. However, you know, I've got all the symptoms, all the signs, and I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm going to be talking about some of the symptoms that I've experienced during my pregnancy and how I've dealt with them. Hopefully some of you guys find it helpful, and yeah, even if you don't find it helpful in the future, you might. I hope you enjoy the video. Be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that I post. Let's get into the video. So I'm going to talk about some of the other symptoms, and I'll mix it in with Hyperemesis Gravidarum, which I'll just call HG at this stage. Just to hear from you. I also want to hear from you guys if you guys have experienced this, and also share notes. I'm sure there's moms that watch my channel as well. Yeah, I'll try to put some timestamps as well so you can just watch what you're particularly interested in. The first one, I have to say, around maybe week 4 of my pregnancy would have to be bloating. Bloating, guys. I looked pregnant before the belly started showing. I was so bloated, especially at the beginning of the pregnancy. I didn't know how to deal with it. I was just distended. And obviously it's uncomfortable, you know, you sort of feel stretched already. Eating makes you feel even more bloated, you know what I mean? Drinking does the same thing. Yeah, and there's actually no way that I dealt with it. I just let it be for the duration that I had it. I still have a little bit of bloating here and there, but it's not as bad as it was in the first trimester. For those that don't know, I'm currently about 23 weeks, going on to 24. So yeah, bloating was the first one. The next one was fatigue. I was so exhausted, especially at the beginning of the pregnancy. I'm still exhausted. I've been exhausted the whole time. However, trimester 1 felt, yeah, like I was really just gonna die. Like I would just sleep all the time. I was dozing at work. I've gone through some of the symptoms in my previous video, but I'm gonna go in detail in this video with those symptoms and how I managed them. So with the fatigue, I just slept at every opportunity I got. When I got home, I just slept. For the night, I slept. Afternoon, weekends, if I got a chance, I'll just sleep. Unfortunately, I can't sleep at work, and I'm working full-time through my pregnancy, so kind of have to keep it together, you know, take a few walks down the hallway of the clinic, you know, to keep myself awake and stuff. But yeah, I've been so exhausted, and it's such exhaustion that you just feel like your whole body was, I don't know, working out or something. But yeah, I would just say like rest. That's the best way to deal with the fatigue. you're creating a human being. Your body is adjusting to so many things. So yeah, I think rest is still, I still get tired and I still sleep randomly at the moment. And I find that resting and sleeping and taking naps helps a lot. Insomnia, that sucked. I got the insomnia particularly in the first trimester. I would try to sleep early to try and get a lot of rest because I was fatigued. But then come 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I am wide awake, like no sleep. What am I gonna do? I just walk around, and if I'm really, really awake and I'm feeling some kind of way, I'll just wake my husband up as well, because I'm just like, what am I gonna do with myself? But yeah, insomnia is one of those, and unfortunately there's not much you can do with insomnia. I think some people take like herbal teas to calm themselves down. I tried to play some nice calming classical music, and that usually did the trick to help me just ease back into sleep. However, yeah, it would come after at least an hour, 2 hours of being awake, and then I'll sleep with the music in the background, and that really helped. This one I didn't really expect, and that's becoming gluten intolerant. This symptom appeared in the first trimester as well, and I just started feeling really bloated, yes, already, like I said, bloated, but then I'll get tummy aches, I'll get a lot of gas, and I'll get diarrhea. And I suffer constipation naturally, but then the pregnancy has made it worse as well. That's another symptom that I'm facing, constipation. But instead of being constipated now, I had diarrhea, and I had similar symptoms way back in the past after a course of antibiotics that just wiped my gut out and all the good bacteria. So I was familiar with those symptoms, so I decided to cut gluten, and that fixed it. So if you have any of those symptoms, the bloating, tummy aches, the gas, the diarrhea, and passing stool that does not really seem like it's like the food has been digested well, like there's full particles of rice in there, and grain, and it's really burning, like when you do number 2s, that's likely to be a gluten intolerant thing. Sometimes it's IBS, inflammatory bowel syndrome, but for me it was gluten. I know it's gluten because when I stopped eating gluten, it sorted the problem out. At the moment, I have not touched gluten since first trimester, since discovering at around 6 weeks or so. And that has sorted me out. Here and there, I eat bits of gluten, and I'm still okay. But I know that I can't just go gluten diet full throttle, So no things like pasta. Can't really eat lots of beans because of the gas that it brings. Can't really eat flour or bread or wraps that have got gluten in them. It has to be gluten free. And yeah, that's how I've dealt with that one. But I developed a cough, like a strange cough. Like I'll just cough randomly, and the cough usually came right before I vomited. However, even when I'm not gonna vomit, I'll just have this cough that came sometimes, and a nasal congestion at the same time. So I'll be constantly spitting out mucusy kind of stuff. And I have not had a cold for years, I would say. I don't get sick often. I take my vitamin C's and whatnot. I'm not gonna praise my own health. I think God has protected me, but I do try to stick to a healthy diet, and yeah, I haven't been sick. So I think it comes with the pregnancy, and I believe I read somewhere that it's some women do get that symptom with their pregnancies, just the congestion of the nasal cavities. This particular symptom didn't bother me a lot, so I didn't do anything about it, really. I'll just cough when I need to cough. Sometimes I'll get some fresh air, or have some steam in the room, or like a humidifier in the room, and that would help clear my nose and my throat a little bit. But it wasn't that intense or distressing to me, so I didn't really do much about it. I still have it here and there. I'm actually used to it. So yeah, that was another symptom. This is another first trimester symptom, which is spotting. I think this happened starting from the time of implantation all the way until maybe 6-7 weeks. I would get some kind of spotting happening, maybe sometimes just brown discharge, or sometimes it was bright red, you know, when you wipe. But like I said in my previous video, I had gone to the hospital and inquired about that, and they were not worried at all. I have not had spotting ever since, I think, week 6, and I'm week 23 at the moment. So if you get spotting in pregnancy, it's not something to take lightly. I would speak to your midwife, call them, speak to your doctor, go to ED. In early pregnancy, it's normal to have like some kind of spotting as the pregnancy implants and as your womb adjusts to, you know, growing that baby. However, you know, better safe than sorry. You know, you just want to find out and make sure that it's nothing to worry about before you know, let your guard down, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I dealt with that one by seeing the GP, and they cleared it up for me and let me know it was nothing to worry about. Cramping. I've had cramping predominantly first trimester as well, but I think about the middle part of my second trimester, so around week 18 moving forward, I've had cramps. So I'll get like a slight lower abdominal cramp, which would then radiate to my lower legs. Apparently that's the womb adjusting, and also, you know, your muscles extending in your womb. All sorts of things are going on during pregnancy, and that's apparently normal. So what I did is warm baths seemed to help. However, I would lie down and elevate my legs a little bit, and that seemed to provide me comfort. Like, it wouldn't take it away completely, but it helped me a lot. So yippee. Obviously, nausea and vomiting, crazy. In this one, I just have to, like, there's a difference between morning sickness and HG, and I have HG. I've spoken about this in another video, but I'll say it again. I have had excessive vomiting, excessive nausea, all day nausea that just has not gone away since it started at around week 7 or 8. I dealt with the nausea by just staying away from the things that I know made me nauseous, which is just about everything, guys. Smells made me nauseous. Looking at my husband made me nauseous and want to vomit. Like, yeah. Certain foods, smells, deodorant, anything, movement would just make me nauseous. So I'll just avoid. I'll get a lot of fresh air into the house. That's one way I sort of try to deal with that one. With the vomiting, guys, I can't even tell you how to prevent it. I tried ginger. You know, I'll try eating bits at a time to try and, you know, prevent myself from vomiting. But when it's time to vomit, it's time to vomit. I'll just vomit. And I actually felt better after vomiting. So I don't know. I think with the vomiting and the nausea and the hyperemesis particularly, it's a case-by-case situation. If you find that you cannot do anything to keep your food down, you need to go to the hospital. I've had to be on fluids before. I've gone into hospital before to just go on a drip, and they've given me like IV fluids just to keep my hydration up, because my urine was like dark. I was losing weight. I was, you know, visibly dehydrated, and I was not eating. So, you know, I've had to have fluids to manage the HG. You can as well, but especially if it's first trimester, it's very limited what they can do other than rest, hydration, and, you know, nutrition, like in bits. Try and eat little bits at a time. And of course, when you graduate to the second trimester, now you can take some anti-emetics, which I have taken. Rest of it is one of them that I've spoken about. Ondansetron I've taken, but that constipates me, so I stay away from that one. However, the rest of it is probably the one that's keeping me stable at the moment. You can try ginger. A lot of people swear by ginger. Didn't really work for me. Like, it kind of helps, but because I was dealing with heartburn as well, which is another symptom, the ginger kind of burns you. So it makes it worse before it gets better. So I wasn't really keen on it. And I took a particular B6 supplement, which helped me a lot. It didn't eradicate the HG, but it reduced the symptoms quite a bit. So instead of vomiting like 6 times a day, I'll vomit maybe 3 times a day. So another thing I try to do is just to stay upright after eating a meal. I try not to lie down because the food just goes back up. And then the heartburn comes, and the vomiting as well. So those are just some tricks and tips that I've used for the HG. However, if you find that nothing works with HG, you need to go to hospital. Just book yourself in and go and be treated in hospital. They can put you on nasogastric treatment, where you're having your food fed directly into your tummy, and fluids that go directly into your bloodstream, and they hydrate you and keep you nice and healthy, and baby healthy as well, because obviously we don't want to harm baby by not providing enough nutrients or hydration. Like, hydration is quite important in pregnancy. So if you are not able to manage it at home, just go to hospital. And I've had to go to hospital once or twice to get fluids. Another one which is so unpleasant is the overproduction of saliva. I've spoken to you guys about this little friend of mine that has been my constant ever since, I think it was 12 weeks, I believe. All of a sudden, I am producing such a high amount of saliva in my mouth. I cannot swallow it. I have to spit it out. It makes me nauseous if I swallow it. And at the end of the day, I feel like 3 of these by the end of the day. It's disgusting, I know. Which is hydration as well. So you have to think about, trying to drink water in between your spits. But yeah, it's become my constant friend, and apparently some women do it. I'm so embarrassed by it. If I have to do like a talk at work or training, I'm just like, kind of have to apologize in advance, and but I have not found any way to deal with this one, the excess saliva. It disgusts me. I'm sure it disgusts the people around me, but it is what it is. Comment below if you've ever had this particular symptom or sign of pregnancy, and how you've dealt with it. I'm more interested in how you've dealt with it. I was hoping that it would slow down week 14, week 17, week 20, nothing. It's constant. I have to wake up sometimes because I'm choking on my own saliva to spit it out. Madness. Sometimes I have to wake up to drool everywhere or sleep with a towel next to me. That's how I'm sort of dealing with it, like towels, and this is by my side, and I hate to look at it in here, so I'll put dishwasher in there, dishwashing liquid or some kind of liquid soap, so that I can't smell it, and I kind of just see like a foam, like suds. That's all I see. I can't see the saliva itself, so that kind of works. However, yeah, this one is one you do not want. Spitting lady. So I've spoken briefly about heartburn when I spoke about the nausea and the vomiting, but heartburn was still is a major symptom that I'm experiencing. I have it every day, all day. I go to sleep to it and I wake up to it. And it can be debilitating. It can be really frustrating, excuse me, to be dealing with all the time. And throughout my pregnancy, all I've taken is Gaviscon. You can also take Mylanta to help. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to see. I've taken charcoal before, like mix powdered charcoal and just take that in water. It kind of helps, but it's not as effective, and it doesn't work as quickly. So, you know, you can give it a go if you need to and see if it works better for you, but I wouldn't say that worked that well. What else did I use? Just eating small meals. I don't drink and eat at the same time. I spread my meals and my drinks, which can be difficult. If you're feeling really thirsty at the moment, but you've just had a meal, you can't really drink, you have to wait. I wait like 2 hours plus before I drink, and even then I'll still have heartburn. It just won't be as bad. So I'll drink bits at a time, and that just helps the food and the liquid to not mix. You don't want the food and the liquid to mix and just create this pool of food and liquid and acid, which then starts coming up. It's just easier for it to come up when it's like that. So yeah, that's what I do for the heartburn. I have taken omeprazole, which is a proton pump inhibitor, in the second trimester. I only do that one when I'm close to tears with the heartburn, or, you know, really, really bad heartburn that I have not been able to resolve with anything else, and, you know, I'm just having a hard time that day. I might take it, but I try to avoid it, the medication, and just stick to all the other tricks and tips that I kind of, you know, have at my disposal. Another symptom I've kind of spoken about is just, it's kind of related to the nausea and vomiting, but the smells. I had my sense of smell went from here to here. I could smell my own saliva in my mouth. I could smell my husband's breath, not the breath coming out of the mouth, but this one. I could smell everything and anything. I could smell things from a mile away. I could smell, oh man, and it just made me even more nauseous. And for that, fresh air, open the windows. I would go away while he's cooking, you know. What else did I do about the smells? I would just try to cook more, like get him to cook more on the weekends or during the day, so that at night I don't have to smell food lingering. Like if he was cooking before and it's a few hours later, I can still smell the food. So, you know, I try to get him to cook earlier so that, you know, the smell kind of dissipates. So that was one. I hated it. It's a little bit better now in the second trimester, so I'm thankful. Yeah, but I definitely had that. Excuse me, had that one. The other one that I had was food dreams. In the first trimester, I could not eat anything other than maybe just sadza, like maize meal, and greens like bok choy, or choy sam or something. So, like, I wanted to eat, but I couldn't because it would make me vomit. So I guess I started dreaming about food. So I started dreaming about all the foods that I want to eat. Cheesecake and pizza and all sorts of funny things. So crazy. Another food that I sort of ate sometimes was hot chips. Kind of helped. But yeah, there's a time when I could only just eat the maize meal and the greens 3 times a day, all day. Little bits of it. Crazy. But yeah, food dreams. Let me know if you've dreamt about food. And it's quite intense dreams, eh? We'll go for the whole night. It's pretty intense, and it's a variety of foods. It's like a banquet and a buffet there, and dessert and savory. Lord help me. It was so tricky. I would wake up and I'm like, oh, what a dream. I dreamt all that, but then this is what I'm dealing with. I wonder if other women experience that, but yeah, I don't think there's a way to prevent those dreams. If they come, they come. Now, a lot of women do experience mood swings and irritability during pregnancy. Thank God I did not have that. I actually believe I had none of that. I don't know. My husband will be the one to tell you for sure if I had those or not, but I think we've been okay. I haven't been short with him or anyone else, or just feeling teary. I mean, I've cried a few times just with the difficulty of the pregnancy when I'm vomiting for the 6th time and the vomit's coming through my nose and stuff. I'll just break down, which I think is normal. But I didn't get like up and down moods or mood swings or anything like that. So I'm thankful for that one. What I did get, however, is an itchy belly, right? Itchy belly and a bit of back pain. I got those 2 symptoms, but it wasn't too intense. I would sort of just, start, applying like aloe. I applied aloe to my belly and some oils and that seemed to settle it. Let me know if you're interested in a stretch mark video to see how I am preventing stretch marks. I'm 24, heading towards 24 weeks, and I don't have any stretch marks at all, and I don't have any itching anymore because I've been going to town with the routine that I have going on at the moment. With the back pain, I'd sort of just rest, lie down, have a pillow in between my legs, have another pillow on my back, sometimes a hot pack if it's really bad, but usually rest would really help, and just not standing for long and things like that seemed to help me a lot. I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of any others. If I do, I'll put them in the description below or on the screen, but otherwise that's pretty much a good summation of the symptoms that I've got. I think that's a lot of symptoms to get on top of the fact that I've got fibroids. My fibroids went from like this small to 9 centimeters. I've got 3, but only 2 are large. One is 5 centimeters, the other one's like 9 centimeters. And a couple of weeks ago, it decided to have like an inflammatory reaction where, I don't know, this just started hurting me. My entire lower abdomen was so painful, especially with movement. I couldn't move or anything like that. I couldn't turn myself in bed because of the fibroids. And the pain was intense, guys. It was so bad. It lasted about 3 days, and I still have it at the moment, but it's manageable. It's not like excruciating. I didn't take any medication for it. However, what I did do was rest. I rested a lot. At lunchtime, I would rest. When I come from work, I would lie down, literally, pillows, everything, rest. I would do like a hot pack for maybe 10 minutes, then take it out. And you want to be careful with the hot packs because you don't want to heat the baby up in there. So just 10 minutes, take it out. That helped a little bit. A warm shower helped a little bit as well. But it's just rest, hydration, a bit of a hot pack, hot showers, and just pray. Just pray that God takes it away. But yeah, it can be intense, guys. And I think the list of symptoms that I've gotten have been just so many. Some pregnancies are a breeze. I've heard my friends saying, I didn't get any of that. I had a breeze, I didn't have any issues. I didn't vomit. My fibroids didn't grow any bigger with the pregnancy. Mine have skyrocketed with the hormones. They've just become bigger and bigger. I'm hoping that they don't get any bigger than they are, but who knows? Who knows? And it makes me think, I don't know if I'm carrying a girl, because this pregnancy is intense. Let me know, do you think I'm carrying a girl or a boy? And maybe I'll do a gender reveal video and sort of, bring my husband up here and reveal the gender once we know, because, we don't know the gender yet. Comment below, let me know what you think. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. And of course, share your experience if you've had difficulties with your pregnancy, or if you had a pretty cruisy pregnancy and you had no issues at all. Please share, because I'm starting to believe nobody has a breeze, because I'm just like, what is wrong with me? But anyway, it'll be nice to hear from you guys. Until next time, it's Coily Diaries. Bye.